Okay, hi, my name is Ismail, and today I will be presenting my 20 time topic, which is about food wastage. So the purpose of my project was basically to learn myself, more about how wasting food affects the world and how to implement this into other people's lives. So basically, I had three things I wanted to research about first for this project. I wanted to research how wasting food affects the world, how the different ways people tend to waste food, and how to remove these bad habits from daily life. So basically, how wasting food affects the world, I wanted to find different topics that like pollution and world hunger that are different types of things that affect the world. And basically, when I wanted to research the different ways people tend to waste food, like whether or not they just throw everything in the refrigerator and just forget about it when they go out grocery shopping. And my last one was finding how to remove bad food from, which is basically my product, which I'll explain. So, what I learned about my first topic of research was um, this contributes into other world problems like pollution. So, as you can see on with the photo on the right, uh, food that is thrown away in trash can be, is placed in landfills and dumps, and that produces a greenhouse gas called methane, which is 21 times, which has a 21 times global warming potential than carbon dioxide. So that's important to take into consideration that that much pollution is polluting our air. And the second is world hunger. And this is a common topic when talking about food wasting because there are always people that may have like close to no meals in a week or 1 to 2 meals a week. And this is an interesting fact: 40% of U.S. food is wasted each year, while 1 in 6 Americans don't know where their next meal will come from. So, how do people end up wasting food? So, we call it. Some people call impulse buys is buying food you won't eat. So when you go to like grocery stores like Safeway, you see something healthy and you buy something. Like you see something healthy and you see junk that you don't really need, and you end up buying both, but you don't eat the healthy thing and leave it in your fridge to go bad. And basically, that's what they use the process of pushing the old food back to the back of the fridge. So like whenever people buy new groceries, they tend to just push their old food back to the back of their fridge, and then once it goes bad, they throw it away. And though regarding not eating leftovers, the term leftovers is basically means in terms of food is basically like food that is left over and you should be eating it. But what most people do is they just place it in the refrigerator and it goes bad. And that is, it turns into one of the old foods they push to the back of their fridge. And the last one is badly prepared food, which is basically if you don't have a recipe and you're just experimenting in random foods that you don't really need to do, and you do something bad and it's a mistake, and then you throw it away. So my product was I created a website, and it acts as a guide that people can use to add to their human lifestyle. And basically, I had 3 steps. One of the steps was tips for the grocery store, which is basically like telling you how you can make a list and what to add into your list when you go to grocery stores. And it basically gives information on how to shop smart and having a plan for what you're doing. And my second step is basically it had to do with home habits, like how to organize your pantry or how to organize your refrigerator, so you don't come into situations where you just waste your food. And third step was just measuring the progress after you're done. So my experience during this project was I implemented good habits in my own lifestyle. I learned my family and I learned more about how we should be regulating our food wastage, and basically we learned about how to shop smart. So now whenever we go to the grocery store, we shop for things that are more that we really need, and we take a list this time. There's a practice called FIFO, which is first in, first out, which is what I use now to basically when buying new groceries, you bring the old food to the front so you don't forget about that and the new groceries are in the back. And now my family plans what to make earlier, so we know our breakfast, dinner, and lunch plans before we make them. And one of the hardships I had during this project was how to format a website. I didn't know whether to make it a guide for people to use or something informational where they just learn. And basically, I just chose to both, but leave less information out. And I wanted to talk about what my next steps were. My first idea for this project was creating a plaque of the 3 steps I explained from my website, and I would hang it up on somewhere public. And I asked the downtown restaurant, Village Burger Bar, yeah, and they said maybe. So, and I asked places like Five Guys because they have a lot of things hanging on their walls, and they said no, but yeah. And basically, I just chose to do a website instead. But this is what I'm gonna do for my next steps. Just try to make a plaque, and just like they said maybe the Village Burger Bar. So I would probably hang it up there once I make one. And that's